and welcome back to the channel. My name is Katie. You saw the title of today's video. Is Britney divorced? What is happening? Or is this another way to control her and there's a big conspiracy going on? And y'all know your girl's gonna just break it down for you. So I wanna jump right into this, but before we do, if you're new here, hi, how are you? I'm Katie. Would love to have you if you like this kind of content. Make sure and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Would love to have you around. Also want to let you guys know, giving away a $100 gift card. Super simple. Helps me, helps you. This is all you have to do. Like the video, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, share the content, watch the video from start to finish. Boom, you're entered, you're eligible. That's all you have to do. Do it for every video because the more times you do it, the more times you're entered. Almost nobody's doing it. You have a good shot at winning my money. I will be doing this August 1st. I will be announcing a winner, so good luck. What is happening? Well, we've been hearing reports that Britney just got divorced. Now, we know that she just got married to Sam Asghari, and they've been on a honeymoon. And in fact, she recently she got pregnant, but then had a miscarriage, and we send her all the love in the world for that because that is not an easy thing to go through. It's one of those things that women go through more times than we like to talk about, and more times than that people understand, especially men. And it's probably something we should talk about more, to be honest. But in saying all of that, the media has been reporting that Britney is out of control, that she's lost her fortune, and that she's divorced. So here's the thing. I'm gonna read you guys the information. I have a whole new take on this because I know people are like, okay, I can hear people being like, okay, Joy, but she's free, so why do you keep talking about it? She's not out of the woods yet, guys. Now, the thing is, she might have some of her freedoms back, and she might have access to some of her money, but she needs justice, and people are still trying to put her right back in that position, and I think that's exactly what we're seeing right now, and I'm gonna dive into it. So, let's pull this up. Also, guys, I've been having this weird thing where every so often my sound cuts out for like 5 seconds. I don't know why. I'm the most tech illiterate person in the world, and it's just me here, so give me time. I will try to figure it out. I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. Also, this dress is wrong. Guys, I know you've heard me talk about this. Like, how am I like 100 pounds right now? I thought in what I'm doing with the health routine and the inflammation and the water retention going away and all of that, I figured that it would help my chesticle situation. It hasn't. So nothing fits right. I need to just make OnlyFans. I'm never gonna do it, but I just need to do it. I say never. No, I couldn't. I know me. I would just like get shy and I would hide. No disrespect if that's what you do. Be empowered. More power to you. I'm not. Anyways, it's not intentional. It's just bodies. We'll see what happens. Here we go. It says, shock rumor says Britney Spears supposedly facing $60 million divorce 39 days after the wedding. The story claims that Spears rushed into things too quickly. I'm getting irritated just saying this stuff. Is Britney Spears on her way to her third divorce? One tabloid's cover story claims the honeymoon is already over for Spears and her new hubby, Sam Asghari. Let's check in on the newlyweds. Britney Spears and Sam Asghari over already. This week, In Touch reports Britney Spears is already regretting tying the knot with her longtime partner, Sam Asghari. The outlet remarks on how Spears deleted her Instagram just days after her wedding and returned with a message about how weird her new life is with Asghari. The excitement is worn off. An insider divulges she seems to be having second thoughts about all the changes in her life. She's already talked about returning the wedding presents, and those close to her think a divorce could be coming soon. The source then points out Asghari's comments in a recent interview with GQ about refusing to be a house husband and wanting to put Spears on a budget. After the last 13 years, Britney isn't about to go back to asking for permission to spend her own hard-earned money. Sam's ideas are too controlling, just like her dad when he was her conservator. Apparently, Spears is terrified of giving up any control. Her friends think she wants out, the tipster concludes. So, I'm just gonna remark on this real quick. With everything Britney's gone through, you have to understand that Britney probably is under PTSD and trauma, even if she's not aware of it, on some level. Why would they act like it would be a surprise? I would be surprised if she didn't have issues with giving people power and control after what she's been through. That's normal for most people. Most people, that's always a balance beam and a give and take in any type of relationship, friendship that you have. I don't know, just for them to come across this way and make it sound this dramatic, it's like, no, that's actually real normal for where she's at in her life in general. Most people, but especially her. It says, is Britney Spears getting a divorce? It didn't take long to unravel the entire story. First of all, and Britney Spears' now deleted Instagram post about how weird her new life was, she wasn't referring to Asghari. She was talking about her brand new house. Thank you, Suggest.com. It's so weird I wake up and everything is new. The pop star wrote, new pool, new kitchen, new bed. I think I'm in shock. And she probably is. A lot of changes. And you know what? She gets to just make as many changes as she wants and adjust to them as she wants, because she's a human being with autonomy and free will. And just because she might be empowered in her physical intimacy or how she comes across with that doesn't mean she shouldn't have the normal things and freedoms that everybody else does. The fact that I'm saying these words, the fact that I feel like I have to say these words in our society still. So, we seriously doubt she's subtly having doubts. Spears has been with Asghari for over 6 years. It's gonna say that too. She's been with him for a long time. It's not like they don't know each other, guys. Now, I will say, sometimes when you do get married, people will change, even if you've been with them for a long time. Sometimes, and it's weird because what is marriage but a business contract? You are literally entering a business. I think if people looked at it more like that, do you want to enter into a business contract with this person? People would look at it a bit differently. Though, like for me, I don't care about marriage. Because I'm like, to me, it's like literally, it's marriage, in my opinion, is an expensive party where I get to be a princess for a day and have everybody dote on me, and a business contract. I do my own business. Why would I need that? And the person I'm gonna bring into my life, they need to be somebody that, like, I'm at the point where it's like, you need to be on my page and on my level and want to build an empire with me, period. So you're probably gonna be your own business person on some level if you were to come into my life, regardless, right? And then the princess for a day, boo-boo, I'm princess all day, every day. I don't need an expensive party or people don't know me to tell me who I is. So I just have no interest in that whatsoever. That sounds boring to me. It's like, no, get me traveling somewhere. Let's go find Hi Brazil. Do y'all know what Hi Brazil is? Look up Hi Brazil. Okay, side note, but y'all know these are like fun little sit and chill ramble videos. Hi Brazil apparently is this like island off of the coast of Ireland. Island off the coast of Ireland. For some reason that's hard for me to say. And it used to be on maps, and then there was this thing where it would reappear and disappear every 7 years, and apparently it's full of big black bunnies and a magician. And then the Rendlesham Forest UFO, if you guys know about this, look this up. The guy who touched the side of the UFO, one of the military personnel, he got the coordinates for where Hi Brazil used to be. Anyways, so yeah, if you ever want to get married to me, first of all, don't give me a wedding ring, get me a dog, because that shows commitment. And then secondly, if you actually want to get married, I don't want to actually have a party or do any of that. Let's go rent a small private plane and try to find Hi Brazil. Like, that's how you win my heart. The weird stuff. Okay, anyway, so, fun side note. And finally, the outlet takes Sam Asghari's comments in his GQ interview way out of context. In the full transcript, he never talked about putting Spears in a budget or controlling her money. He simply said that if it was up to him, they would live off of $60 a day because that's what he can afford. He made it clear that he doesn't mooch off of Spears, and for that reason, he lives a very frugal lifestyle. In the same exchange, he called Spears a real-life princess and detailed his efforts to plan her perfect proposal. Oh. He's only ever spoken admirably of his wife, and it's just offensive to both parties to spread these rumors of his controlling behavior. Earlier this month, Spears posted a video of them looking completely loved up on a boat ride during their honeymoon, so it's safe to say there's no truth to this insulting story. So then it says, more divorce speculation from the tabloid. Spears and Asghari are far from the only couple to get this treatment from In Touch. Last year, the outlet reported John Legend and Chrissy Teigen were headed for a $150 million divorce. Then the magazine claimed Reese Witherspoon was desperately trying to avoid a $250 million divorce. And more recently, the publication alleges Will and Jada Pinkett Smith's marriage was hanging on by a thread. That was probably more true, but you get what they're saying. Since all of these couples are still together, it's obvious In Touch isn't trustworthy anywhere in the subject of divorce being concerned. Okay. Tell you guys my thoughts on this. I'm gonna put this on and try not to bang on here. I just love this. But also, like, you guys will never see me wear jewelry much. I don't like jewelry. Small little things I lose, and I have a hard time just maintaining this body. Don't give me any more small little things. Also, like, it's cold. And I've had issues with my body temperature because of my nervous system. And it's another weird thing is, like, I feel like sometimes when I wear jewelry, I can get really drained. I think part of it is because it can make me really cold. And mess with my nervous system. But the other part is I think my body's so sensitive that putting metals on me of any sort can mess with my nervous system. I've got to come to that conclusion. So I don't wear a lot of jewelry, but like little plastic things or things like this. but there's also like not plastic things that make it cold. What am I trying to say? Okay, I want to break this down because I have a theory. I think it is possible that this story was planted. Now, what and why? My God, I just saw the monitor. What are you doing? Shirt? Dress? It's actually a dress. Dress? Okay, what do I mean by that? What I mean is, we know that right now, her father, I just did a video on this, so her father, Jamie Spears, right? The judge is now forcing him to sit down to a deposition about whether or not he bugged Britney's room and ended up bugging all of her conversations, and he ended up getting access to attorney-client privileged conversations, which breaks so many laws, so many issues, and he's been avoiding this. Between him and the Lou Taylor, the manager that stepped in, right? Legally, they are in some mess. But you have to understand, Lou is smart, Lou's got money, Lou is crafty. I'm not saying I'm on her side. I hope it's obvious that I'm not in this. But here's the thing, is like, just because she's been an awful person to Britney doesn't mean she's not intelligent. Intelligence doesn't mean good either, right? Like, I can sit and admire the intelligence of somebody who's evil. Doesn't mean I like them, doesn't mean I like their behaviors. I can just go, oh, you are incredibly intelligent. You are a horrible person, but I can admire and respect the talent of the intelligence, right? And she has lots and lots of connections managing all these people with all of these different outlets, news outlets, tabloids. Here's my thing. Is it possible we are getting to where Britney's going to get justice for what's happened to her, which she should? Good on you, girl. Go for it. But they are going to try to spin things in the media to make her look crazy. Remember, even her dad was like, if you give her freedom, she's just going to screw it up. Who cares? That's another thing. Let's entertain this. Let's entertain that they're getting divorced. And it was only 39 days marriage. And how many people get married and get divorced real quick? Why is it an issue when Britney does it? Now let's entertain this. $60 million divorce. She's going to lose her money. And how many people get married and lose their money? And why does it matter? And I don't say this, I'm not saying this as like a diss to, it's not a diss, I hope it isn't like a diss to Spears. What I mean by that is, why is it not okay for Britney to do things that it's okay for other people to do? Why? This is what you have to ask yourself. How many men in Hollywood have married somebody and lost their money? How many? We don't ever hear about it. We don't ever hear they're getting divorced and it's going to be this. Well, sometimes if it's a really, okay, I put it this way. If it's somebody with a lot of money, right? Like Bezos or Gates, right? That's different. We're dealing with lots of money. But nobody else gets railed on like Britney. And I'll tell you why I think it is. I think it's because in our society, we still hold true to the fact that we feel if there's a woman that's empowered in her physical intimacy, please infer it's YouTube, if there's a woman who is in that capacity, that we own her and we control her. And this goes back, guys, you go back and look in history, go back and even look at like Babylon. This goes back into the concepts of back then, oh my gosh, what do you call it? Getting close to the end of my film day, so I'm a little brain foggy. The virgin sacrifices. So funny enough, South Park has a whole episode about Britney Spears, and they go into all of this, and that we have done this for thousands and thousands of years with women, and with the feminine energy, and which we seem to really not understand on this planet whatsoever, especially the men are just so mystified and confused by it. We would take these young, beautiful virgins and we'd turn them into these idols, right? And then we'd off them. And sometimes we'd shove them underground and, put a slab over it and be done with them. We did that all the time. And we would be like, yes, it's going to be a good harvest. And that's, I feel like, another extension of what we see with this. Because for whatever reason, in our society, men specifically, I'm not saying all men, so thank you for the ones who aren't, and if that's you, this is not aimed at you, it's aimed at your turd counterparts. Just like with women, we have a lot of turd counterparts, okay? So this isn't like hashtag all men, it's not. So if you're not one of those, great. But I think that we are very scared of a woman who's in her own power. And why are we scared of a woman who's in her own power? Well, because she can't be controlled. And for so long, most of what we know from relationships with men and women is women being controlled by men. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that men aren't taught how to be men. And I'm not blaming men for that. That's a lack and a fail on society and our parents and their parents and whatnot. And the other part is I think people don't know how to deal with their physical, intimate energy. Please infer, it's YouTube. We aren't taught how to deal with that. And as men, I would imagine that is I've talked to enough men and picked their brains over the years. I'm not a man. And again, I'm on the spectrum where I don't need any physical intimacy at all. It doesn't exist for me unless I like you. And I don't ever like people. I mean, I love everybody, right? But I'm never attracted to anybody. It just rarely happens. But in talking to enough men, I understand that element of you guys is almost like an addiction. And I'm not putting you down. I'm telling you my understanding of it, right? Not putting anybody down. But you have to learn how to use that and to cultivate it. And as men in our society, you guys aren't taught anything, and that's not your fault. That's another failure. But I think that we have to look at, because people have said, how do we get to this point with Britney? Well, here's another thing. We're already doing it. We're still doing it. Go look at what's happening to Wendy Williams, which I'll be covering more. Go look at what's happening to her in front of our eyes, and nobody's saying a word. It's because right now the subject isn't popular enough to speak on her behalf. So I wanted to just give some info and insight into, I think this story was planted by Lou Taylor, if you ask me. And I think we might see more and more stories of Britney's unhinged because they need to paint a narrative of her before they go into court. And this is one of the few things that they can do. And at the end of the day, okay, Britney Spears got divorced after 39 days. Who gives a crap? She has every right to get married and get divorced every hour of the day if she wants. It doesn't matter. She gets to do that. It doesn't matter if she has money. She gets to do that because she's a person who gets to do what she wants. Period. As all people are. So when people start putting stipulations on who gets to do what when, you have to ask yourself why and what's the motive. Those are my thoughts. What do you guys think? Y'all know I always want to hear what you think. Sound off in the comments. If you like this video, you like my commentary, please subscribe, get that notification bell. Would love to have you around. Also, gift card giveaway helps my channel, helps you. Almost nobody's doing it. You have a good shot. Like the video, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, share the content, watch the video from start to finish. You're entered, you're eligible, boo-boo. That's all you have to do. All right, me and my ill-fitting dress and my bra that doesn't work are gonna go make one more video, and then we're gonna have some fun, I hope, later today. So yeah, that's it. I'm ending this awkward and I don't know why. Okay guys, take care, lots of love, lots of blessings. Till the next video, I'm giving everybody hugs, kisses, stay safe, and as always, I will see you soon.